What up, everybody? Starz has now leaked the Raising Kanan Season 4 titles, descriptions, and release dates for the rest of the season, episodes 2 through 10. So in this video, I'm going to go over those descriptions and break down some of the storylines we're going to see in Season 4. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time on episodes 2 through 4 because I already broke down the titles and descriptions to episodes 1 through 4 in another video. But I'll put the link in the description if you haven't checked that video out yet, and I'll timestamp it for episode 2. Getting me to the episode 2 title and description. Episode 2 is titled, It's All Love, and the description reads, with the federal task force seemingly behind them, Kanan and Rock navigate a new business relationship, just as Unique begins to plot his quest for revenge. Meanwhile, Lou considers a new music opportunity. Marvin goes too far on a side job for Stefano, and Juke tries to adjust to life in the army. Before I get into the episode 3 title and description, I wanted to address some really good questions and comments that I got regard to episode 1 now before going into episode 2. First being, did Rock's father E-Train have something to do with Rock's previous pregnancy that she had aborted? The answer to that question is no, because in season 2, Rock confronted Marvin about putting hands on Jukebox, and said her daddy never put hands on her before. The other question was, do I think Unique killed Early Tyler when he pulled a gun on him? The answer to that question is also no. I had to check out the exclusive images from season 4 with Early Tyler to double check that myself because I had the same question. But we haven't seen the clip from the exclusive images yet in episode 1, so no, he didn't kill Early Tyler. And another question was, what was going on with Unique's hand? A lot of people thought he was trying to get his grip back, similar to Kanan when he was recovering in OG Power. But keep in mind, Kanan was nearly burnt to death, and that's why he had to get his grip back, because his skin was tightening. Unique had no injury to his hand, but the doctors said that Unique would have anxiety when he woke up. And I'm not 100% sure about this, but I believe that's what the hand is about. It's showing he's dealing with anxiety. Season 4 episode 3 is titled Bygones. And the description reads, as Rock and Marvin face the aftermath of Unique's violent, clandestine comeback, Lou manages his new artist. Kanan gets through to his grandmother, and Jukebox embraces her sexuality. Episode 404 is titled The Way We Were, and the description reads, Unique forms an unlikely alliance in his vendetta against Rock, while she inches closer to a new drug enterprise. Kanan takes advice from Snaps and Pop, and Jukebox's new friendship leads to a violent encounter. So those are the episodes I've discussed in another video. Make sure to check out the link in the description if you haven't watched that video yet. Getting me to Season 4 Episode 5 titled The Nail That Sticks Up. The episode description reads, Rock and Marvin navigate a dwindling supply of product while Lou and Imani scout artists together. Joyce's condition worsens. Famous's mother desperately tries to find him. The first thing I notice from this description is it says Rock and Marvin were dealing with a dwindling supply of product. Notice it didn't say anything about Kanan being involved. This makes me to wonder if Kanan and Rock's business relationship has already ended by this point. We know from the previous descriptions that in episode 2, Lou will consider a new music opportunity. By episode 3, he'll be managing his new artist, B. Rilla. And in this episode, Lou will be hooking up with Imani Okoye, who is most likely Lou's season 4 love interest, and looking for additional artists. After episode 1, I do have to question though if Lou hooks up with Imani Okoye through Daniel Galfin, the man who was trying to sign Famous, or was it through Jessica, because I know they didn't show her in episode 1 for no reason. Joyce's condition worsens. That means there's a good possibility the rest of the family could find out about her cancer in this episode. And Famous's mother desperately tries to find him. The fact there's no dead body is a good sign for those of us who want Famous to survive. So I'm thinking there's a good possibility that Marvin put the gun to his head as a warning, then gave him a bankroll to get out of town, and told him not to even let his mother know where he's going. Season 4 episode 6 is titled The Price of Fame. Rock tries to overcome Marvin's poor judgment. Kanan recruits Jukebox to help him get justice for a friend. Unique assembles the final pieces of his plan. The title of this episode definitely got my attention. The Price of Fame. This makes me think that Lou and B. Rilla possibly blew up. Or this could be referring to Famous in some type of way. Or it could even have dual meanings. because we definitely know that Kanan will be recruiting Jukebox to help him get justice for a friend, and that's most likely talking about Famous. And we also have to ask the question, what is Marvin's poor judgment? Does that have something to do with Famous? We know he goes too far on the job with the bookie and Corona in episode 2, but all those episodes later, I don't think that's what this is referring to. But it might be the overall poor judgment of working for Stefano behind Rock's back in the first place. And Unique assembles the final pieces of his plan. We know that his plan is to take over the blocks like he was muttering in episode 1, tell Rock that all the blocks are his. We know this because of the episode 7 title and description. The title is Allow Me to Reintroduce Myself. Unique and his soldiers assume control of the corners and queens, leaving Rock and Marvin in desperate need of more answers and more product. Kanan searches for a missing OC. The first thing to point out about this episode is this is the episode before the skip week. The episode before the skip week is normally the biggest episode of the season other than the finale. So we know something big is going to happen this episode, primarily being Unique reintroducing himself and Rock and Marvin finding out that he's still alive. But like I said in the beginning of the video, it doesn't sound like Kanan is still working for Rock at this point. Because of that, I think this will be the episode that snaps Henry, introduces Kanan to Unique, who I believe is Breeze, and the two will form their business partnership. Unique being the plug and Kanan running the corners for him. And as far as OC, we don't know who that character is. I tried looking him up on IMDb and didn't find anything. I hope I'm wrong, but this sounds like it could be the kid I thought that was going to be Young Ghost, who Kanan was telling if he wanted to make some loot to get him some information. But like I said, I'm hoping I'm wrong about that because I really want that kid to be Young Ghost, because we've been waiting for 4 seasons for Young Ghost and Tommy to be introduced to the storyline, and I still do have hopes that they will be introduced at some point this season, even if it's the season 4 finale. Season 4 episode 8 is titled Street Struck, and the description reads, Rock goes on the offensive as Marvin and Lou attempt to contain the escalating situations. Jukebox joins the search for OC, while Kanan looks into his theory on what happened to Famous. So this is the episode that Rock knows that Unique is alive and now she can finally go from defense to offense. But from the episode 9 description that I'll get to in a second, it definitely sounds like Kanan is working with Unique, and part of Rock going on the offense has something to do with Kanan. Lou and Marvin will be dealing with escalating situations. We know that Marvin's business is in the streets. But the question is Lou back in the streets, or is this situation dealing with the music industry? And Kanan looks into his theory about what happened to Famous. This could definitely be him with eyes in Rock's direction. Keep in mind he knows she was behind the murder of D-Wiz. Season 4 episode 9 is titled It's About That Time. The description reads, Kanan, suspicious of Rock's involvement, investigates Crystal's disappearance. Rock faces the fallout from Unique's retaliation and Marvin's mistake. Jukebox revisits her past, and Lou embraces his new path. Like I said, from this description, it definitely sounds like Kanan and Unique are working together, because part of Rock going on the offense sounds like she did something to Crystal. Most likely she gave her money to get out of town and start over, like we saw Ghost try to do with Holly and Keisha. Also keep in mind that Crystal is pregnant, so this means that most likely Kanan has another child out there somewhere. Episode 8 said Rock went on the offense, but this description reads 1 episode later that she's facing the fallout from Unique's retaliation. So her going on the offense sounds like it backfired against her, not to mention she's still dealing with Marvin's mistake this episode. Jukebox revisits her past. I can't even begin to guess what that means. And Lou embraces his new path. So does this mean Lou gets out of the music industry? More importantly, does it mean that he's back in the drug game? I think it most likely does. Season 4 episode 10. The season finale is titled Give Me the Weight. And the description reads, a devastated Kanan furiously searches for answers and revenge. Rock attempts to stave off the collapse of her business as she and Lou prepare for a possible war with Unique. So Kanan is devastated this episode, searching for answers and revenge. Is this in regards to Famous, Crystal, or could this even be in regards to Marvin? Because what happened to Marvin to where Rock and Lou are preparing for a possible war with Unique? And why isn't Marvin mentioned also? And this also gives us the answer to Lou's new path from the episode 9 description, that most likely he's going to go back to working for Rock in the drug game again. And there you have it, Season 4 synopsis and storylines. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.